wild child cards because they have so much symbolism in them. You would have to. I feel like you can get a little bit of what they mean, or if you are well versed in symbology, you can get a lot of what they mean. But I feel like you need to really know about Crowley's methods because these are cards that really had he totally reconceptualized them from the original playing card decks and from what has become the standard deck now, which is the Rider Waite. Totally different. Totally different. Okay, so I will be very, very honest with you. Like I said, these cards have so much symbolism in them, and this is by far the hardest deck for me to work with. I'm always, or rather never, disappointed when I use them, but again, the detailed meanings don't just jump out to me like when I use my Rider Waite or another less symbolically complicated deck. But what you have here is the Ten of Wands. It's actually reversed, so I will turn it right side up so you can see what that looks like. And the word at the bottom, if you can see it, is oppression. Now, traditionally with the Thoth deck, they don't use reversed cards, and this is coming down from the makers of the decks, and people that they intend to use the decks. Maybe it was originally meant to be used by everybody, but Aleister Crowley and people like him were ceremonial magicians, so they had a specific type of person in mind when they thought of these cards being utilized. So they say when you have reversed Thoth deck cards, then you're basically not taking care of your deck. Like, you should be keeping it in order. But I do use reversed tarot cards with my other decks, and I don't see a reason why that same logic can't be applied to this card. And actually, based on the nature of this card, I'm actually happy for you to see that it's reversed, because the reversals can imply a number of things. It may be something that's on the surface, something that hasn't happened but you need to be aware of, something that is not being outwardly expressed, something that's really more internalized. It's almost like having a retrograde planet in a way, how that energy becomes very internalized. So the wands are associated with work, business, and so it looks like there is, excuse me, it looks like there is some internalized or undercover oppression going on with a work situation. This card is numbered 10, which we do happen to be in a 1 year. The numbers 2, 0, 1, and 7 all add up to 1. So this is a relevant card talking about initiation and injection of the will. You need to find some freedom, my brother. That's what this card is telling me about whatever situation you are going through, or perhaps you are on your way to that in terms of how you make a living for yourself, finding something that you enjoy, that you are good at, that you are passionate about, that you can use to not only help people but earn a living for yourself. It tells me that you may be experiencing some resistance with that, but if you pursue it with a clear mind and a clear heart, and you pay attention to your intuition, then this won't continue to be an issue for you. On the tree of life, the number 10 refers to Malkuth, which is the earth, and it is the most crystallized form of the alchemical element of fire, which wands represent fire. So this is fire in its lowest form, which means it's without a guiding intelligence, and thus it is at its most destructive. It's up to you to give this powerful force guidance, as it is the groundwork of all passions that have been known to run amok. When in Malkuth or in Earth, this force is from the other 9 Sephiroth, but is not in direct contact with them, making it more influenced by astral fantasies. In this state, the spiritual fire has become a blind force without any modifying influences. And since this form of force is the underlying cause of all motion in the universe, blind motion suggests chaos. So again, having some chaotic feelings about a business matter. Then you can also see the zodiac signs of Sagittarius here and Saturn here. So to me, that speaks to limitations. Sagittarius is a worker, very down to the nitty gritty, so to speak. Like they get to it. Sagittarians or Sagittarian energy gets to the bottom of it, does what needs to be done, very resourceful. And then we have Saturn, who is often looked at as the bad guy of astrology, but really Saturn is about limitations. It's about boundaries, discipline, and that energy can come off as very heavy and slow, very obstinate, obscure material. And so there's a pushing and pulling and opposition between these two energies. What we have essentially is the will in its lowest form, undeveloped, unguided, as I said earlier, and with it operating like that, it will devour everything in its path. You know, that's what happens to fire that runs amok, lusting for results, which causes such a huge blaze that it even burns itself. Excuse me. This card suggests oppression and repression. And looking at this card, it can look like a really bad situation, but that's not necessarily or will always be the case. It's oppressed sex energy or creative energy, which essentially means that your creative passion is in jail or beholden to the wants and wills of others. But, you know, like we all know, pressure bursts pipes. And so eventually that passion is going to explode forth into action. Now, what you can be aware of is that action can become deviant. It can become cruel or malicious towards others, you know, as a way of expressing that resentment for being pent up. But if you create a new motion, you can make changes. You can make the necessary changes that you need to get to where you're trying to be with that.